It was a little shocking to go back to the original version of Sonic Generations while preparing for the enhanced remaster. I still remember the first time I played it because after Resident Evil 5 it was easily the most impressive looking game I had seen on PS3 and Xbox 360 up until that point, and arguably the graphics still look stronger than in certain Sonic games which released a decade later. Thanks to a strong art direction attuned to the impressive lighting of the so-called Hedgehog engine, it almost felt like playing an animated movie, at least in certain stages like the Green Hill Zone. On top of that, it was the first 3D Sonic game that didn't rely on unnecessary gameplay gimmicks, but focused on decent enough 3D parkours and nicely paced side-scrolling. However, looking back, the original version really pushed its hardware to the limits, with some pretty bad stuttering, laughably long loading times, and more importantly, the controls didn't feel quite responsive enough for the high speed of the gameplay. In particular, the side-scrolling wasn't as snappy as in Sonic Mania or Sonic Superstars, which made Sonic Generations an actual good title to pick for a traditional remaster, to clean up those performance issues while keeping the already solid core game intact. And that's exactly what Sonic X Shadow Generations seems to do. The Sonic levels look pretty much the same, but they feel much smoother to control thanks to improved performance. Particularly the 3D sections are still a little floaty at times, but this is due to the nature of the intended gameplay style. Speaking of which, the new stages for Shadow feel pretty much in line with the rest of the game. With Sonic's edgy counterpart, you also race through linear highway style courses and memorize where to perform homing attacks or small QTEs to reach the best stage ranking. However, Shadow has been given the special maneuver Chaos Control, which can be used to freeze time in the level, for example when there are too many enemies on the screen. The controls for boosting are also minimally different, and Shadow gets a teleport attack instead of a homing attack. Not exactly world changing, but the two mascots at least don't feel like a simple skin swap during gameplay. Shadow also has other transformations akin to the Wisp power-ups of prior Sonic games, of which I only got to try out some surfboard mechanic, which didn't feel drastically different from the boosting gameplay on lands. Though, to be fair, the boss fight that came with that mechanic was the only kind of boring part of the demo. The only thing that was a little jarring was that the boost has been moved to the right shoulder button. But during those short highway-esque boosting sections, you're still using the shoulder buttons to dash left and right, which means that you cannot boost and dash simultaneously anymore. I don't know whether in the final game you'll be able to assign buttons, and it's possible that the rest of the game wasn't remastered so smoothly, especially because there's a history of bad Sonic ports. But so far, there wasn't anything that would suggest that. Apart from that, Shadow is obviously all about that Sonic Adventure 2 nostalgia, since the Generation games always recreate set pieces from old games. And I'm not gonna lie, I very much enjoyed seeing some of those old enemies and levels return. The edgy attitude of Shadow was unsurprisingly made fun of back in the day, but as an adult, I'm ready to embrace all of this ridiculous pseudo badassery. Games shouldn't be taken so seriously all the time.